Hello and welcome to Digital Gaming. I'm Synthesis and this is another episode of OceanBlock2. I have a liquefied sauce. So I had the liquefied sauce bucket that I found in one of the chests. So I've just put that underneath. I've put a tempered glass jar on top and it has acted as a chiller. So what it does is it basically chills the water into ice. And this is one of the quests. We're going to need to collect some items. You know what? I've moved everything about, so now I only have these ones, and I moved the table over here as well. So if we do that, so we've got 4. I need 9, I think. I need one. We need 1 blue ice, right? And to get blue ice, we need 9 packed ice, I think it is. So how much do I need now? I need 2 more to do that one. I need a few. So this is what I've been doing for the last few minutes. Basically, essentially what we're doing is we're making the ice for one of the quests. I'll show you that quest in a moment. We shouldn't be too long. This is a fairly quick process. It does your eyes in a little bit because you have to try and keep up to date with where the mouse cursor is and weird stuff, but yeah. So if I take all of that out and then do that, that gives us 3. So a couple more. Let's say a couple more. Just a few more. I mean, I will probably automate this process, but I'm not sure whether we actually need a lot of ice. So I'm not really sure whether I should automate that. Right, there we go, 9. That gives us 1 blue ice. Perfect. Okay, so this is for this quest over here, which is Netherrack farming with basalt. So basalt, you have to crush it, run it through a sluice, and it's a great way to create more Netherrack, right? So you get the basalt, you smash it with a hammer, you then put the Netherrack and smash that. I'm pretty sure you smashed that. And then put that through a sluice as well. So, not the easiest things to get, but certainly needed. There are other things that you need for this quest, which is basalt, which I will go through in a second because there is a way of getting that, the polymorphic diode stuff, and also a just Dire things thing. So let's get the simple machine from Dire. There we go. I'm not sure whether we can get the advanced one yet because we need a whole bunch of stuff and we're missing quite a bit. I don't know how many ender pearls we've got for a start. We've got 6. We could use 3 of them, but the problem that we've got is the advanced block breaker requires power. We don't have a lot of that right now. So yeah, I think if we just go without Dire things and we'll just grab you know, the weird stuff, the polymorphic catalyst, blaze ember, I'm sure that was just water, wasn't it? And then throw that thing in the water. So we're going to go do... Oh, I can't. We're going to go and steal a couple more blocks. And we're going to build one here. Just like so. Because I can't be bothered to run around and do... Okay, so there's our polymorphic fluid. Now, what do we need to do? So to get 1 lot of basalt, we need lava, we need polymorphic fluid, and it needs to be cold, and it will produce 16. That's actually not a bad recipe. So we've got a jar on us, like so. We're going to shove that down there. We are coming over here to get the lava. See? So, lava, polymorphic, hit the button, and then we should get 6 out. Now that's not a bad recipe. I mean, apart from the polymorphic catalyst, which is rather difficult to get. That's not that bad. So we've got that. Now we've completed that quest. Now that's the card that we need, the collector upgrade card. So if you have a look at this, automated basalt is you basically create a vanilla basalt generator. Lava, soul soil, blue ice, or soul soil even, and blue ice, right? So ice can be made, which we've already made it. While optional, the block breaker can be used to automate the hammering process without the need of power. We still need the hammers though. The collector upgrade works like a magnet and can be installed in a drawer. It can be configured by right-clicking the upgrade inside of the drawer interface and set the direction it tries to pull from. So essentially what we've got to do is a cobble gen, but for basalt. So this other half of this section is going to be where all of this is going. So I'm going to put the generator here and then everything shooting off it that way. So realistically, what we need to do is we need to create this generator, right? Now, I don't actually know how it will work, but we do need soul soil. So I'm going to put probably the soul soil in the ground, right? Soul soil? That is cool, we've got soul soil. Right, so I'm going to build it here. Yeah? Right here. And we're going to put the soul soil there. We're going to put the block of ice there. We are going to get pretty blocks, the polished ones, and we're going to surround this thing straight away. Yeah? So what I'm going to do is put the lava bucket here, so it touches that, generates the basalt, and then we can collect it and do that kind of stuff. So I don't know whether we need it to be one back or I'm just going to get some more andesite. There we go. Now, okay, so the simple block breaker is always going to be pointed towards. Okay, so the simple block breaker is going to be pointing towards you. So we'll do that and that. Right, so now, if we put the lava here, will that work? That should roll. Boom. There we go. Block breaker needs a pickaxe. Okay, that's frustrating. We've got this one. No, let's create a proper pickaxe. What do we need? Diamonds, obviously. And we need sticks. And I can't see any sticks, so I'm just going to make some. There we go. Now we've got enough sticks. You know what? I'm going to make a couple of these. We're going to make 7, and then we're going to get a hopper, which I think I've got in my inventory. There we go. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to put a pickaxe. Yeah, there we go. You put the pickaxe in the hopper, and then when that breaks, it will put another one in there. I'm going to reduce the tips. Okay, so it is going into my inventory. Realistically though, we want this the other way round, don't we? Because we want to pull from the drawer that way. So if we break this and then spin it round, and we do want it in that side, because we want it to break and then we want it to be collected by the drawer. So if we grab the drawer and put that there, and then we need the upgrade on it. So we're looking towards the east, so we need it to be east, which is back when I'm looking at it. The basalt needs to go in there, and we need to lock this thing as well, so that we don't get anything else in there. And then this needs to go back in. We need to put the hopper on top, and then the rest of these in there. And then we've got the auto. I made some auto hammers earlier, so we've got some of those. Now we're going to put the lava back, which then should hit that, generate the basalt, and then there we go, it's picking it up. Perfect. So that is now chugging along quite happily. It's not exactly a fast process, but I don't really care at this point. What we do need to do is we need to hammer it, which is the wrong way around. So we need to hammer it out, and then it needs to go into this section here. We're going to need the locks again. And lock that. Then that needs to go into... I think that needs to go into a sluice with lava. So we break it, we hammer it, then we use the crushed basalt in a sluice. So if we go with a diamond one, so if we go with diamond sluice, and then, so this is crushed basalt. There. So if we see what we need to, so if we can use that, we are here. It's going to be a diamond mesh, and we will get like a diamond mesh with lava. We should get dirty netherite scraps and netherrack. Okay. So we need to export into a chest and then into two. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right, so let's go put the sticks back in the system. And let's get ourselves a couple of, yeah, we're going to need a couple of sluices. So let's get two, and then I need one more. Second one, and then diamond. There we go. And then we need some meshes. We need two of these. Two. More string. We haven't got any planted. That's annoying. What have we got a lot of? Do I have? I do have shears. So let's take that. I didn't even know you could put that on the chopping board. Okay, so we've got some now. I don't know whether this is enough. So let's go and have a look at the meshes now. We've got two iron ones. We need to go to gold. Two. And then diamond. Okay, so diamond we can't get to. We need to get to steel. What do we need for steel? Steel rods. We need molten steel. Okay. So we need to go down this path then. Finally, steel. Which means we need a coal coke. So coke bricks. Okay. So we're going to have to pause this and we'll go with coke bricks. So if we can... Okay, so coke bricks. How many can we do? So we need one. Clay have we got? We've got plenty. And I can craft more, so if I say I want 100, we don't have enough sand stored. Take some out of there. Put sand in there, and then we'll go, we want 100, go for it. Basically what I've done is I've put a crafting thing on here that says clay 32 is just sand and gravel, but you've got infinite water, so it's just sand and gravel, and then it literally just does that and then put it back in to the system here, as you can see. Now obviously I'm going to go and smelt some of this clay, which I'm just going to switch around because we don't need these things anymore. I keep trying to go back into there and putting things in because of the terminal, but I don't have enough terminals. So I need to create some more, but yeah. So now if we go with bricks, we should see none because it's not linked to the system. I'm getting too used to linking to the system right now. So let's see about how many bricks do we actually need. A coke oven is, I think it's just 9. And if that's just 9 lots, there's 6, there's 9. So realistically this should be over here with this lot. I'm not sure I want it there. You know what, actually I will put it, but I'll put it, I didn't really want it in the front, I wanted it in this corner kind of thing. Yeah, because we're going to move that anyway. Yeah, we're moving this. I don't want this here anyway. It was just there because we didn't have anywhere else to put it. I'd like the coke oven to just sit. No, we need 27. That's 3. That's 12. So 6 more. It's going to be about 10 bricks. What have we done up here? Okay, so it's just that. So what we want is we want the bricks, and then we want to chuck some coal in there. That will give us... oh, we need a hammer as well. The immersive engineering hammer, that's fine. So that will give us then coal coke, which gives us the ability to then craft steel, because it's one coal coke, one cast iron. It's one of them. I think this will be enough. Yeah. And then behind us we should have a hammer. There we go, engineer's hammer, which is what we need. Right click on there, that gives us that. Now what we want is coal. When this thing gets out of the way, so I can see. Coal, and we'll get a stack of coal, and we'll shove a stack of coal in there. Now this will produce coal coke and creosote oil, and the creosote oil is then used in immersive engineering when we're building that kind of stuff. So it's used to do the treated wood planks, which then is used to build everything. Like, you know, all the benches and all that kind of stuff, so that we can get the blueprints and we can then do the garden cloche, which is perfect, which is really cool because we'll be able to generate different bits and pieces from there. So okay, so yeah, the soil is used. Dire soil is 2 seconds. That's kind of cool. Or Insanium farmland is also 2 seconds. I don't know how we're going to get those, but we will get them eventually. But doing that, we'll get this. This will then unlock the diamond, which is perfect. So if we do that, and then have a look at the recipes of the jars, there we go, iron and coal coke. So I'm going to let a couple of these smelt up, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've got a couple. Well, one's almost about to finish, so I think we'll just leave it there, because I don't really want to muck around. Now, the one thing that we do need is iron, which we've obviously got. So we can do 5 iron, because obviously 1 in 1, etc. 1 to 1. So what we're going to do, I've already left one of these spare. I'll probably move this down the front, to be honest. It's a bit pointless, you know, running to the back. Cast iron? No, that's not right. Don't use my coal coke. Did I get the recipe wrong? Bloody did, didn't I? Molten cast iron, or is it... Oh, maybe I need to chuck it in with the steel. Stupid. Oh, I need the 27 bricks in my inventory, which is why that didn't finish, which is why I didn't... Alright, let's do that. 27 bricks are in my inventory, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... There we go. Hammer. Put the rest of the coal back in there. We've got 2, right? So that should give us this and an engineer's manual. That should then lead on to this quest, which is coal coke and steel ingot, right? Which is lava, yeah, steel rod. Again, doesn't help. Using the coal coke and coconut, I should be able to combine it with iron to make steel. Craft steel in the Oritech foundry. Is this the foundry? This is the foundry. It should be in here instead. You know what? That's not going to do that, is it? Really? No, that's the other. It's a foundry. So I need to do these quests coming down this way. Oh, that's annoying. So I can't... this is what happens when you don't read the quests. Okay. We've got this set up. That's chugging away. That's going to collect our resources. We've got, what, 8 minutes? Let's see how far along we can go with the other quest. We're going to put this over here. This is doing okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to shove these 2 down here. We're going to leave them there. And then we are going to go and put crushed basalt. That's crushed, so we're going to put that in there. We are then going to not do anything else along this quest line because we need to finish this side of it first. So we need quartz chunks, which means we need crushed netherrack and lava in a sluice. So let's manually do this for now. So 2 buckets of lava. We need netherrack, which I'm pretty sure I brought back. Netherrack. There we go. So we got some netherrack. I am going to do that, like so, and then we're gonna put it over here, just like a random pattern. And then there is a netherite hammer, which we're going to do that. That gives us our crushed. And then over here, we're going to put our 2 buckets in here. Oh, we need a mesh. So crushed netherrack requires what kind of mesh? Blazing, diamond, or gold. Okay, so we do have gold. So let's have a look at the mesh. There we go, we got the gold one. Actually, I'm going to take the other gold one out because we will use it eventually. We'll upgrade it probably, but yeah. Okay, so crushed netherrack. So we're just doing this to fulfill the quest. There we go, done. That gives us more crushed netherrack, and then obviously we need silicon, copper alloy, and fused quartz glass. So we need a little bit more quartz. This lava is going to be a pain. Realistically though, we should set up, or I will set up the actual thing. The crushed basalt will go into one of these. That will then be sieved, and there will only be 2 outputs. Though of those 2 outputs, it will generate... Oh, we've got glowstone as well. I'm just thinking whether I should do this manually for a start, or whether I should just set it up as if it was going to be like this, and then just do it then. Right, realistically, it's going to go out of here and into here, right? And I know it's not a gold one, but it's going to be there. Now, we need fluid pipes. In fact, we don't need fluid pipes, we need a hole in the floor for these, so like that. Right, it's going to come out of here, and it's not going to work, but it's going to come, no, it's not going to come out of there, it's going to go into a hopper, because I'm mental. Hopper, perfect. Do I want it to go into a chest? No, I do not. So it's going into there. Realistically, it will go into the top, because I want it in the top, right? So it'll go on the top, and then it will be exported from here, like so. If I do that, that should then start filling up. Right, so when we've got the right mesh in there, that will work, right? It will then go to here, which will... So if we go and have a look at crushed basalt, crushed basalt will give us two things, which is netherite scrap and netherrack, right? So realistically, it will give us two things, which means that I would prefer to be able to export both of those options. So I know this is probably overkill. I really do probably, there's no probably about it. It's definitely overkill. But at this point, I think it would be a good idea. We're going to get a storage controller, because they're relatively cheap, right? We're going to get a storage controller, and we're going to pipe the items directly into the storage controller. Yeah? So it's going to come down here, it will get to... I suppose it will get to a chest, won't it? No. Well, yeah, it will need a chest. It will need a chest. We're going to take diamond, because we're mental. What am I going to put in there? I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to put the books away as well. And that, and yeah. That will be for now. Right, so it will come out of here, it will get crushed. It will need two... So the outputs will go into here. It will then need to filter round. Like, we're going to have another one, the other one here, right? So that one will be here. That one will come out. The storage controller will be here. We'll have two storage drawers, and we can link those now. So it will be shift right click that and then add those two, right? So now the filter will come out of there, like so, and it will go into here and then fill these two up. Now, I do want to lock those, because what I would like to do is have this one be the netherrack. And I can only do that if I can control... Really? There. Jesus. I can only do that if I can control what comes out where, right? So if I put that, that, and we'll get rid of this one. And then I can pipe the items out of here, which is the netherrack, into here, which will then go... in fact, actually, it won't, will it? Because it needs to go into the crusher first. Ah, right. So the netherrack comes out, then it needs to go in the crusher. Perfect. Okay. So now, if we do this, we can put that one there. That's the output. Of course it is. Actually, we can do it another way around. We can do that. There we go. And then we can do that. And then we can do that. And that will basically pull that from there into here, crush it and put it in there. Then this will go through. We'll have a hole in the floor, like so. And then everything will look at, we'll have some exports here so that we'll put the lava in there. And then everything will go, the crushed stuff will go into here. Crushed netherrack. Go down here, sieve, come out the end into another chest. So let's go get another chest. Let's craft that. And then, actually let me do this, and then that. And then we need iron, so, and then gold, and then diamond. Where's glass? We've got glass. We have, perfect. Now we've got that. There we go. And we will then put that there. Perfect. Okay, so that will all sluice down, go into there, and everything will be happy. I'm going to hook that up, and then I'll be right back. I decided I'm not going to be right back. Actually, I'm going to end the episode there because we're already at half an hour. I will hook it up. We'll get one side of it working, and then the other side of it we'll sort out once we've got the other bits and pieces that we require, which is lots of ports. So I've got to wait on the ports anyway. I may as well just hook it up and then we'll get it running. That's a plan. Next time, the stuff that we were going to do. Steel. And then the other bits that we were going to do. But anyway, that's this part. Then we should be able to unlock the next bit and then move forward. Bit of a convoluted episode, but you know, pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Syntosis. You've been awesome. Ladies.